person who keeps falling for the unavailable partner is not chasing love. They are chasing the familiar sensation of trying to earn it. And the question they never ask is, what would happen if they stopped reaching? The child who had to perform for a parent's attention learns one thing. Love is something you reach for, never something you receive. That template does not leave. It becomes the blueprint for every adult attachment. The nervous system does not distinguish between past and present when it comes to this. It recognizes the frequency, the coldness that follows warmth, the warmth that follows absence. The intermittent reinforcement is not cruelty from the caregiver's side, not always. Often, it is simply the caregiver's own unavailability, their own distraction, their own wounds. But the child does not metabolize intention. The child metabolizes pattern, and the pattern says, presence is conditional. Presence must be earned. Presence is the reward for being good enough, quiet enough, helpful enough, invisible enough. You do not feel drawn to someone who is present. That feels foreign. That feels like a trap. The distant partner mirrors the original caregiver. Unpredictable, withholding, just out of reach. Your nervous system reads that as home. You thought of someone else just now. That is the protection working. The distant partner is not always obviously distant. Sometimes they are present in body, but absent in substance. They text constantly, but never commit. They share trauma, but never vulnerability. They are there until you need them, and the need itself becomes the thing that makes them leave. This is the sophisticated version. The crude version is the person who disappears for days, who has another partner, who lives in another city and keeps promising to move. Both versions serve the same function. Both keep the reaching alive. You stay. You overgive. You interpret their coldness as a puzzle you must solve. The overfunctioning is not generosity. It is anxiety in the shape of labor. You are not giving because you have abundance. You are giving because you are trying to create a debt. You are trying to make yourself too costly to abandon. The irony is that the more you give, the less they owe you. The more you solve, the less they have to participate. The mechanism devours its own logic. But here is the mechanism nobody names. You are not attracted to the person. You are attracted to the unfinished business they resurrect. The hope that this time, if you are good enough, they will finally turn toward you. That hope is the hook. The hope is not about them. The hope is about the child still standing in the original room, still waiting for the door to open. Every unavailable partner is a chance to go back to that room and try again. The adult mind knows this is impossible. The nervous system does not. The nervous system is loyal to what it learned first. It keeps the child alive inside the architecture of the adult, and that child does not understand time. That child understands only, if I can just get this right, the warmth will come and stay. You are thinking this is about love. It is not. It is about calibration. The person who cannot choose you is the only person who ever felt real. The one who could choose you, you leave them. They feel wrong. They feel like a stranger. The available person does not produce the correct chemistry. They do not activate the familiar cascade of cortisol and hope. They feel flat. They feel like missing a step that was never there. You tell yourself you need spark, you need intensity, you need something you cannot name. What you need is the familiar ache. The available person does not give you that, so you conclude they are not right for you. The conclusion is backward. They are not right for your wound. They are exactly right for you. You were never broken by neglect. You were programmed by it. The program runs until you stop mistaking the ache for love. The intelligent person does not escape this pattern. They dress it differently. They have better language for why they are not doing the thing. The vocabulary of psychology has given them a sophisticated set of reasons to remain exactly where they are. They say they are processing. They say they need more information. They say they are being thoughtful. What they are doing is the same thing anyone else would do. They are not moving. The intelligence is in the service of the stillness. They can describe the mechanism with precision. They can name their attachment style, their mother's depression, their father's absence. The naming becomes its own form of reaching. If I can just articulate this correctly, I will be released from it. But the articulation is not the release. The articulation is often the replacement. The person who can explain exactly why they choose unavailable partners continues to choose them. The insight becomes part of the pattern. It becomes proof that they are working on it, which becomes reason to stay in it. The high achievers version is particularly brutal. They have converted the childhood performance into adult excellence. They are impressive. They are exhausting. They believe that if they become successful enough, accomplished enough, beautiful enough, they will finally be seen. But the unavailable partner does not see more clearly with more light. The unavailable partner is unavailable because of their own architecture, not because of your insufficiency. The high achiever cannot absorb this. Their entire identity is built on the premise that enough effort produces enough result. In every arena but this one, it does. In this one, it is a category error. They keep applying work to a wound that work cannot touch. From outside the mechanism, what is most striking is not how often it fails people. It is how reliably it protects them from finding out. I do not have this pattern. I have only watched it. What I find remarkable is how little knowing that changes anything for the person who does. The cost accumulates invisibly. The years spent in the wrong rooms, with the wrong people, reaching for hands that do not reach back. The cost is not the heartbreak. The cost is the normalization. The cost is believing that this is simply what love feels like. The cost is the slow erosion of the ability to recognize warmth when it actually appears. The cost is the body that learns to read safety as boredom, stability as absence, kindness as suspicious. The cost is the moment, usually late, when you understand that the pattern has been choosing for you. That the available people were not wrong, you were not ready. You were still standing in the original room, still reaching, still hoping that this time the door would open and stay open. The person who becomes aware of this pattern usually does not change. Awareness is not the solvent. Awareness is often the new cage. They see it, they name it, they tell their friends about it. They date someone available and feel nothing, and they interpret the nothing as proof that the chemistry was missing, not that the wound was unactivated. They return to the familiar ache because the familiar ache at least feels like something. The available person feels like dying. It is not dying. It is the nervous system recalibrating without its drug. But recalibration takes longer than most people tolerate. They go back before the new signal becomes legible. The rare exception is not the person who finds the right partner. The rare exception is the person who tolerates the wrongness long enough for the wrongness to become ordinary. The person who stays with the available partner through the flatness, through the suspicion, through the conviction that something is missing. The person who does not flee when the nervous system screams that this is not home. The person who learns to be bored by someone who is good to them. That is the final test. You will have to learn to be bored by someone who is good to you. Boredom is not the absence of love. Boredom is the absence of crisis. Boredom is the nervous system at rest, and a nervous system trained on chaos reads rest as death. You will have to stay through the boredom long enough to discover what is underneath. What is underneath is not fireworks. What is underneath is not the cinematic moment when everything finally makes sense. What is underneath is quieter. What is underneath is the slow recognition that you do not have to reach, that you do not have to solve, that you do not have to become worthy of something you already have. Most people will not do this. Most people will find a reason to return to the ache. The ache is known. The ache is home. The ache is the last connection to the child still waiting in that room. And letting go of the ache means letting go of the hope that the door will finally open. It means accepting that the door is not going to open. It means accepting that the child did not get what the child needed, and that this is not a problem to be solved now. It is simply what happened. It is simply what was true. The person still reaching is loyal. Loyal to the first template. Loyal to the child who learned that love must be earned. Loyal to the hope that if they can just get this right, they will finally be chosen. The loyalty is heartbreaking. The loyalty is also the trap. And the only way out is to become disloyal to the original instruction. To let the reaching stop. To discover what remains when there is nothing to solve. No one to earn. No distance to close. What remains is unfamiliar. What remains is foreign. What remains is the thing you have been running from, which is simply this: being chosen without having to perform for it, being wanted without having to become worthy, being still, and having that stillness be enough. The program runs until you stop mistaking the ache for love.